Let's do this very simple one. What does the sum say? We know that in this table we have points and their corresponding coordinates given to us, which is very easily seen. And we say that decide whether the pair of segments given below the table are congruent or not. That means we have a pair of segments here, DE and AB. We need to identify whether these two segments are congruent. Now, we know that two segments are said to be congruent if they are of equal length. That means we need to find the length of DE and the length of AB, and if we get them equal, we can say that the segments are congruent. Now let's focus on DE. Now when we focus on DE, to get the length of DE, in other words, we are saying that we want the distance between D and E. So we want the distance. That means we need to get the coordinates of D and coordinates of E. Do we have it? Yes, we have it. Let's write down. So we write coordinate of D is -7 and coordinate of E is 9. Now we know the coordinate. We need to identify which one is the greater coordinate, which one is the smaller one. So we have the greater coordinate, smaller coordinate. So we write the 9 is greater than -7. So once we know the greater coordinate and the smaller coordinate, can we find the distance between D and E? In other words, that's nothing but the length of segment D. Remember that. So say distance between D and E. What is that? Greater coordinate minus the smaller coordinate. What's the greater coordinate? It is 9 minus the smaller coordinate. What is that? It is minus of -7. So what do we get here? It is 9 minus into minus is nothing but it is plus. So we get +7. 9 plus 7, how much is that? It is 16. That means we get that the distance between D and E is equal to 16. That means length of DE, segment D, is 16 units. So we got the length of D. Now what next? You are very correct. We need to find the length of AB. Let's find that. We mark this as result number 1. So AB, how do we get that? We need to know the coordinate of A and the coordinate of B. Let's write down. Coordinate of A is -3. Coordinate of B is 5. Now 5 is greater, -3 is smaller, so we write 5 is greater than -3. And now we write distance between A and B is equal to greater coordinate minus smaller coordinate. What is the greater coordinate? Greater coordinate is 5, so it is 5 minus of -3. So we write the 5 minus of -3 there. Solve it further. So what do we get? 5 remains as it is, minus into minus is plus. So we get 5 plus 3. How much is that? It is equal to 8 units. That means we got length of AB is equal to 8 units. So we have to decide whether segment DE and segment AB, they are congruent. Now tell me, length of DE is 16 and length of AB is 8 units, right? Are they equal? No, their lengths are not equal. That means we'll say that length of AB is not equal to length of DE. From where did we get that? We got it from 1 and 2. So if the lengths are not equal, that means the segments are not congruent. So we write the next statement there. Therefore, segment DE is not congruent to segment AB. Was that easy? Very simple, right? Let's do another one. Now this is going to be very easy. Again, we have two segments, segment BC and segment AD. We need to do the same. Identify, check whether these two segments are congruent. What do we need to do? Find the length. So let's find the length of segment BC. So we do that. Coordinate of B is 5. Coordinate of C is 2. Which one is greater? 5. Which one is smaller? 2. So we write the 5 is greater than 2. So now we write distance between B and C is equal to greater coordinate minus the smaller coordinate. That means it is 5 minus 2. And what is 5 minus 2? 5 minus 2 is nothing but we get it as 3. That means we got distance between B and C is 3. That means the length of BC is 3 units, which we mark it as result number 1. What's the next one? Segment AD. So we are supposed to know the coordinate of A and the coordinate of D. Let's write down. Coordinate of A, how much is that? -3. Coordinate of D, how much is that? It is -7. Which one is greater? -3. Which one is smaller? -7. So we write there -3 is greater than -7. So now we write distance between A and D is equal to greater coordinate minus the smaller coordinate. That means it is -3 minus of -7. That is what we write there. We wrote there -3 minus of -7. Solve it further, we get -3 minus into minus is plus. So -3 plus 7. How much is that? It is nothing but we have different signs. So subtract and put the sign of the greater number. So what is that? 4, and put that sign, that is plus 4. That means we are saying that length of AD is equal to 4 units. That's our result number 2. Check the length. Length of BC 3 units. Length of AD 4 units. Are the lengths equal? No. So we say that length of BC is not equal to length of AD. From where did we get that? From 1 and 2. Hence we write that segment BC is not congruent to segment AD, and we got the sum. It's so very simple, right?